Hi, welcome back to the farm. My name's Roz, also known as Passion Flower, and you'll find me here each week talking about my farming and creative life. It's beginning to feel quite spring-like here, even though it's early August. There are lots of flowers starting to bloom. I've got a huge amount of jonquils in my garden by the house, and in the mornings and the evenings, when the air gets a little bit heavy, there's a really amazing fragrance that's coming from them. And as I look out here across towards the bush, I'll show you the view. I can start to see that little yellow tinge of wattle to start to blossom as well. So we've got a lot of the black wattle in our native bush, and it is just starting to flower. So soon that will be really heavy in the air too, that wattle smell, and the hills around here will become quite bright and yellow. It's a really lovely time of year. I like late winter into early spring. I think it's an amazing time here, especially on the farm. And we get some really lovely weather, generally speaking. And it's a good time to be out and enjoying the farm. Last week, I spoke about that I was going to begin to dye my Christmas colorway, that I hadn't had a lot of inspiration, and that normally I was well into it by this time. But I had an idea and I was going to give it a crack and see how it went. And I'm really pleased to say that I had a play and that I'm really happy with how things have turned out. I will show you today, um, but I'm not sure if this is the final version, only because I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to replicate, and if I have to change a few things to make it be able to be repeated, or to make it easier to dye. I had promised myself that I was going to do something that was reasonably simple, not a lot of processes. And then I started playing, and what I wanted to do ended up actually taking a lot more effort than I had initially intended. But that's okay. I am really happy with it. So should I show you, and then I can talk about it and see what the reaction is? Maybe I'll talk my way through it as I go as well. So here is the colorway. I'll show you it in a ball, and I've also knit up a little bit as well, and I'll show that shortly. So I'm doing it on my sparkly base. You can see there's quite a lot of sparkle in there. This green section is actually, I think it ended up being 5 or 6 different colors of green. You can see it changes quite a lot throughout the skein. So I mixed a variety of different colors of greens and applied them into different sections. And then I also then used some straight colors of dye powder green, but just had them at different intensities of depth of shade. And that's how I've come up with this really interesting, varied green, which I really love. And then there's this section of color. So it's only a small part of the skein, and it's got orange and pink and purple, a little bit of like periwinkle blue um, through it. So this was my vision, and I'm actually really pleased that it came out as well the first time around. I was thinking about, obviously, a Christmas tree and decorating the tree with tinsel. So it's going to be called Tinsel on the Tree. And I was also thinking that this could potentially be used for assigned pooling projects as well. So that's why there's only that little small piece of the bright color, and all the rest is a tonal green. So as I said, I need to do another batch of this to see if I can replicate it, just because of the complexity of this green, and also the way that these colors were put together on this end as well. And I actually need to buy another couple of pans that will accommodate this style of dyeing as well. I have some small rectangular pans that I put onto my burners, but I used a slightly wider one and I only have one of those. So if I'm going to do multiple batches, I'd for sure need to get a few more of those bigger pans because otherwise it is going to be an absolute pain to do one pan at a time. So, as I said, I probably should have thought of all of that before I went ahead and created this, but I am super happy with how it came out. Now, to how it looks in the ball. Here it is here. And I have done a little bit of knitting in it as well. So here is a swatch of it just in flat stockinette. And you can see there's quite a lot of green, and then you get these gathered little stripes. And obviously, that's going to depend on your gauge and the number of stitches. But once you sort of play around with it a little bit, I'm sure that you can find where it's not going to all flash and pull in the one spot. So there's that one. And I've started to just knit the toe of a sock. I'm still not super motivated to knit socks. This was literally work knitting so that I could see how it was going to turn out in the round. And again, you see it's getting those little micro stripes throughout as well. So I think I'm going to now try and find an assigned pulling pattern online and work a bit of flat like this with some design with an assigned pulling and see how that comes out, as well as do another batch. So, what do you think? Is this a good Christmas color for this year? Um, you're seeing it first here. I haven't shared this on Instagram or anything yet, and I probably won't for a few more weeks. This will be our little secret spot to share, so you know that it's coming. As I said, I do need to do another um, batch of it. I'm thinking I'm only going to do it on the sparkle this year, on the silver sparkle. I have 4-ply and 8-ply of this yarn, just because of the name and the tinsel and everything like that. I think that it deserves to have the sparkle. So I will be working on this, and I found a little bit of stock from previous Christmases, and I will get all that ready and online for, I think it's going to end up being October. But we will see how I go and how motivated I get between now and then. But I am really, really happy with this. First to what I am wearing this week. As you can see, I am wearing my cross heel cardigan that I finished the week before and blocked last week. And I went through and told you about all of my issues, modifications, thoughts on the pattern. I did block it very aggressively. And as you can see, it now fits really, really well. It was tight through the sleeves when I tried it on before blocking. It now is really comfortable under the arms. It is a tight fit, but that was the intention of the pattern. So it will be for wearing sort of more close fitting t-shirts and singlets underneath, nothing loose. Otherwise, you're going to get like bunches under here with the arms. I've got sort of that bracelet length sleeve, and it's easy enough to push up with the Jenny's surprisingly searchy bind off that I did on the cuffs. And I think that you can still see the arms really well. You can see, I'll get a little bit closer to the camera so you can see along my arm. You can see how the lace is really blocked out beautifully in all of the different colors. It is a waterfall at the front, so it does open and you can see the back of the work at the top here, but that doesn't bother me at all. It is quite cropped because you've got the same length. I actually might put some different photos in here because it's got the same length all the way around, but it kind of sits longer at the front and sort of above the, like on the waist at the back. But I think that it sits really beautifully now. Really light and comfortable piece to put on over a short sleeve. You could also too, because it's got these sort of like flat bits here, you could probably like cross it over and pop a pin in the front here and have it like closed but not really closed, and have the fronts sort of going down. And you can see now that it's blocked, you can see that really lovely edge that I did with the crochet to enclose in those lace panels along each side, which I'm really, really happy that I did. So yeah, that is my cross heel cardigan. Now I've moved around too much and now I'm all crooked and I can't figure out which way's which. The whole camera is reversed thing. So yes, that's my cross heel cardigan. Really happy with it. Really love all of the color and how they all came together. The yarn is all beautifully soft, and I'm really pleased to have a new little cute cardigan to wear. So now to the finished object this week, and I had to play yarn chicken twice, and I lost. So it's a little bit of a little fudged bit at the end of this. So this is my third See My Vest Chunky by Maker Maker. Still haven't woven in my ends because I was a little bit mad at the end when I did my final bind off. So in the end, I decided to just use the colors that I was already using. So the light purple from Fairfield Fins in logwood color, the Sublime lace, and the Cleckheaton 8-ply mohair. And so I decided that I would just continue that color down into the hem. So I did a slightly shorter hem than I had done on my previous versions. That gave me enough to do the neckline all in those 3 strands held together. Then I didn't have enough of the Sublime lace to do the sleeves. So you can slightly see, if I hold it up really close, that the sleeves do not have any of that Sublime lace in it, except for this piece here, which is where I lost the yarn chicken twice. So I did this sleeve first. There you go, you can see the difference. And I did 4 rows of the ribbing and then the bind off, and that one was finished. I then did this one and I got to 3 rows of the ribbing, and I was not going to have enough to do a 4th row and the bind off. I searched high and low because I thought I had a little bit more of this Cleckheaton 8-ply yarn, and I thought I might have even had a swatch from a previous garment that I made with it, and I did not have the swatch. I did not have any little scrap left. I probably will now find something next time I go through my stash, but I pulled things out and I could not find any. So what I ended up doing was going back to my first sleeve, pulled back the bind off and the last row, so back to only 3 rows of the ribbing, and then I bound off, and then I took everything that I had left and I did finish the 3rd row of this and started the bind off, and I still ran out of the Cleckheaton. As you can see in the bind off, this much of the bind off of the sleeve, see if I just put it like this whole section of the sleeve is knit with what the very little bit of the Sublime lace that I had, that I had left over, held double because I had none of the 8-ply left of the other one. So, and annoyingly, it's at the front, but I figure if it's sort of like, it's going to be mostly underneath this arm, so you hopefully won't really see it unless you're looking super close. So yeah, that's my tale of losing yarn chicken twice. I thought I was going to get there and I just could not eke it out. So yeah, I've really enjoyed making all of these vests, but I think I will put vest making on hold for a while now because it's getting much warmer. As you can see, I'm wearing just a light cardigan today, and but they will be great for putting even over a t-shirt like this, just for an extra layer when it's a little bit cooler. The only other project that I worked on this week is my Melanie jumper, and I have made quite a lot of progress, but it's not all that exciting, to be completely honest. It is just the body, really. So I am using Fiberific. I don't even know what it's called. And I lost the tag at Bendigo. I think I had the tag with me and I took out the skein and the tag fell out somewhere. So the Fiberific yarn is this lace weight yarn. It's coming out really bright. And it is a tencel mohair, I believe. And it was 800 meters. And I have 2 skeins, so 800 meters total of this yarn, which is the color Basalt by Leosum, that I bought at Bendigo this year, and it is a pole merino blend, and it is beautifully soft, and I'm really, really enjoying knitting this and the combination of knitting them together. So I have, where's my shoulders so I can show you properly? Yeah. So I have done both the shoulders, and I've joined in the round, and I am now this far through the body between here and here. I have tried it on. I was worried that the armholes might be a little small, but it's actually sitting out past my shoulder, because it is a fitted drop sleeve. So I think that it will be fine. What I did when I had it, I was about to split for the sleeves, and I had each side on a long cable. I got a little piece of scrap yarn and I tied them together underneath the arm, so it was like held as if it was in place knitwise. And I tried and I tried it on, and it was fine. So I am working down the body now. I think I might pause shortly on the body and put the neck in. Again, doing the outside of the folded hem in this yarn, and you doing the inside of the folded hem in a different yarn to preserve every piece of this beautiful combination that I can, because it's going to go very close. Then I will do all of the body, and then I will break what I have left in half and do the sleeves to the same length, and just see how I go with what I can get out of it. Sleeves at any length don't really bother me. A lot of what I make are shorter sleeves because I'm very aware that unless it's really cold, I'm mostly pushing my sleeves up to about here all the time anyway. So I don't really need to knit super long sleeves all the time. And I think this is going to be quite a light trans-seasonal kind of piece, and so I'm excited to be working on it now to hopefully be able to wear it this coming spring. So how really pretty is that coming out with the pink and the grey? It's such a difference to what it looks like in the ball. So I'm really pleased with this yarn combination. Well, that's it for another week. Thanks for spending some time with me. If you're enjoying these videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to seeing you next week on the farm. Bye.